My fellow dragon folk, can you believe the news? We have the new set soon to be released for Flesh and Blood, part the Mistveil, just now being announced today. And man, is it a doozy. I wanted to go over this with you guys, kind of just double check some stuff and see how things are going for this. There's several things that are super hype for Flesh and Blood that I really think that you guys are going to want to get your eyes and ears on in regards to maybe your future deck choices, or maybe you want to even just see what the whole theme behind the set is, and even where their world premiere for the set is going to be. So let's take a quick look into it and check things out. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alex. I'm over here at Ashenwings TCG. We're killing it, having a great old time. But this part, the Mistveil set, is already, first and foremost, just the set, like the way the title looks, super pretty. Obviously, Mistveil, assuming it's Misteria, it is Misteria. We've already double checked that. I've looked over this whole thing already, but I wanted to share it with you guys. So, new set in the world of Misteria, which is another section of the world of Wraith that we've been meaning to go to for some time now. This is where Katsu and Benji and Azuri are all from. Ira is from there as well. It's very much so a ninja-centric, very much so that martial arts kind of realm. And I wanted to talk a little bit about the set here, kind of going forward, and giving you guys some info. So with this, we have the key art for the set. This is the only piece of art that we have for the set so far. Absolutely gorgeous. I can only imagine what this is going to look like in foil, whatever this might be. And also, this individual right here, there's a lot of people just assuming, obviously with the color scheme behind the picture, the key art alone, on top of several other things that we'll discuss in a sec, this very well could be who I personally believe to be Amira. For those of you who don't know who Amira is, Amira Surana is a new illusionist. Well, we don't know whether or not she's actually an illusionist yet, but she has kind of popped up in art for cards for a while now. And, you have a lot of her cards in Everfest, and she's very much so seems to be the what we players are calling the bluesionist, the blue illusionist. There's a illusionist that's red, which is Dromai. There's an illusionist that has a bunch of yellow cards, which is Prism. And we believe Amira is going to be the blue illusionist, the illusionist that cares about blue cards. So with that being said, it's not confirmed, but obviously you take a look at the similarities. It's pretty close. I'd say the only difference is that her gown here is draping off the arms, whereas her normal garb seems to not have wispy sleeves for any reason. So could be her, could not be. Another little thing here is the quote that we're introduced with, which is, "For 10,000 years, our ancestors have walked the path well traveled. Like the tiger stalking its prey, they have waited. Like the snake hiding in the murky water, they have waited. And like the waning faces of the moon, they have waited until now. The truth lies beyond the mist." So from a lore perspective, obviously we know that Misteria is going to hold a bunch of cool ninja stuff. We also know that Azuri is originally from the mists from Misteria. So it is kind of that little thing there. But the moon stuff is very much so kind of on the fence. And we'll kind of dive into this up here. But let's take a look at this little blurb we've got going on here first. So the mist beckons you to Japan for the world premiere of Part the Mistveil and Calling Tokyo, taking place from May 17th to May 19th, 2024, featuring the brand new Part the Mistveil sealed deck format across the entire weekend. Discover the ancient traditions and talents of Misteria that have laid hidden beneath the Mistveil for centuries until now. So we are getting our first calling in Tokyo, no less. And the world premiere of Misteria is going to be in Tokyo. Very thematic, very, very cool. I certainly wish I had the funds to go to Tokyo, but I don't. Regardless, though, this is going to be a super fun set, and I'm really, really happy to see it continuing. I'm happy to see Flesh and Blood continue to grow like this at the level. I think something like Calling Tokyo is something that people have been wanting for a while since they've announced Japan support. So it is really, really cool to see that they pretty much jumped on that the second they had the opportunity to. That's right, you're not dreaming. We're going to Japan. Join us in the heart of Tokyo's entertainment district at the Bellsal Takadanababa. Takadanababa? I believe that's correct. For the world premiere on Friday, May 17th, followed by the first ever Japanese calling on Saturday, May 18th, and a battle harden on Sunday, May 19th. More than $20,000 USD is waiting to be claimed, among other exclusive prizes yet to be revealed. I'm assuming what they're going to be doing is they're going to be making a special alternate art for a card, probably much like they did with Taiwan Fate Foreseen and the Sigarda Sigil of Solace and the Merlion Sigil of Solace, and then the energy potion that you're getting at Pro Tour LA. So you're probably going to check it. We'll wait to see what those are all about. Part the Mistveil draws you deep into the cloaked valleys of Misteria, where tradition, desires, and purpose will reshape your mind, body, and soul. Releasing on May 31st, 2024, Part the Mistveil marks the long-awaited arrival of a new talent, unlike anything Wraith has seen before, and is the first ever Flesh and Blood set to launch in the Japanese language alongside English, French, German, Italian, and Spanish. So not only are we getting a brand new talent for Flesh and Blood, and talents, if you guys are new to the game or maybe not aware, that is like light and draconic and ice and earth. They are not classes specifically, but they are talents that you add onto classes. Obviously, this very well could be a new ninja, right? Maybe an ice ninja like he had talked about previously, or a mist ninja. I'm assuming mist being kind of a big concept for this. You might see some mist stuff. Obviously, ninja not being confirmed, but Misteria is kind of really big on ninjas, so that's the case. It does not say anything about a new class, though, but, we could see one. Who's to say? And then, of course, Japanese language cards. Now, this is something I think a lot of people have been really excited to check out. The Japanese language cards have always looked super good. You take a look at Japanese Pokemon, Japanese Yu-Gi-Oh!, all of those, they all look super incredibly good and well polished. And as long as you know what the card does, you're fine. But I feel like that's going to be a pretty hot thing here in the States, is I think a lot of people are going to start getting some Japanese language cards into their deck too, especially with really pretty arts. We welcome TCG fans to Japan to join us on the road to Tokyo with Learn to Play welcome events and early access Part the Mistveil Blitz pre-constructed deck events running in stores across Japan starting May 3rd. Learn, train, and master the sacred arts of Misteria, and you could become the next calling champion. More information on Road to Tokyo will be revealed soon on fabtcg.com and fabtcg.com/JP for the Japanese version of the website. So they're essentially doing a big, overhaul. Not overhaul. They're doing a big loadout of stuff for Japan. They're releasing a whole bunch of things to get people started in the game. We've already, from previous things, I know Flukenbox as well as several other people have been sellers for the APAC region to help get people over in Japan the cards that they need to start kind of getting into the game. And this is a way for them to kind of onboard is probably the word I was looking for. A way to onboard the Japanese community to really get them a whole bunch of stuff to get them started and have Misteria be such like a close to home thing for them. And it's going to be really, really nice. I'm very excited to see what they do with that. And then, of course, tickets to the world premiere, Part the Mistveil, and Calling Tokyo will go live on the website Saturday, February 24th at 20 JST. And save the date, book your flights, prepare to venture deep into the mist to discover the truth, traditions, and perhaps even your inner self waiting under its cloak. So real quick, though, back up to this one here. There's been some rumors going around, and I kind of like the one there's one rumor that I've seen. There's a lot of people speculating on what we're going to see. We're assuming, based on this quote here, there are going to be 3 classes. And obviously, we don't know the talent, but 3 classes: Tiger, Snake, and Waning Faces of the Moon. So Tiger, Snake, and Moon. Those 3 words are to possibly determine what is going to be in the set moving forward. We're assuming ninja is going to be kind of a big deal. Are we going to get new ninja things? Who's to say? Tiger, we all know Crouching Tiger is a card that exists in the game. And Crouching Tiger is it's not really the most played way to play Ninja right now, but I think a lot of people are really, hoping that it eventually does become that. So Tiger could very well represent Ninja. Snake hiding in the murky water. Snake could be one of several things. We're assuming it could be, some people assume that this is Assassin because it something hiding in the murky waters. Azuri being from Misteria originally. Not that I'm expecting to see a new Azuri anytime soon. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe a new assassin, maybe somebody Azuri knew from her hometown, to make a new assassin. Although that would mean that there are now 3 assassins in the set, in the entirety of Flesh and Blood. So that'd be pretty cool to see a new assassin coming from Misteria. But some people are also believing that the snake hiding in the murky water could very well be something like Illusionist. I know they were assuming Ninja, Illusionist, or Assassin for that too. Not sure the whole thing behind the snake and the Illusionist trick. It could be just like, using the decoys that illusions have to, trick your opponent. Something like hiding in the mists kind of deal. And then, of course, the waning faces of the moon. Now, this one is very interesting because I think a lot of people are hyper speculating on the moon aspect of this, right? Because what is a card that everybody now, people want to see more of this hero that also happens to have white hair and a long gown and is traveling all across the world right now? Icelander and Waning Moon. Right now, obviously, with Icelander, Kraken's Aether Vein was the signature weapon for Icelander. But this here could be something like a wizard, right? We're not entirely too sure. Obviously, it's either one of these. I'm only assuming it's going to be the Waning Faces of the Moon. Is going to be something to do with Amira. I think that we're pretty close into assuming Amira is going to be a hero for this. I think a lot of people are really excited for Amira to be a hero in this. But of course, if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But art like this, I definitely think goes to show a lot of very, very beautiful things. Just kind of speculating as to what the heroes are going to be. But I think most people are assuming that because part the Mistveil is going to be in Misteria, a lot of Ninja cards are about to go up in price. So if you have not picked up things like Mask of Momentum or Mask of Pouncing Lynx or Tiger Stripe Shuko or any of the Majestic Ninja cards, I highly suggest doing that. I'm sure some of them are going to get reprinted in here, maybe, but going to be a huge set for Ninjas, I'm certain. And then, of course, we're going to probably get some kind of, obviously, we don't know what this new talent is. The new talent cards, if they're, with there being a new talent, let's say it is Mist for some reason. Mist stuff is only going to be able to be found in part the Mistveil, so you can't really speculate on that. But whatever class that hero is, for instance, if every one of the illusionists have had a talent. It's a draconic illusionist, a light illusionist, and then a whatever we accept the blue illusionist to be. So what we're assuming is it's probably going to be Mist illusionist, and you're going to utilize things, or maybe like Spirit illusionist, and they'll utilize Spirit talent cards along with other things. A lot of the ways we look at this, because there are other cards that exist. I'm just like hyping up Amira right now. If we take a look at things like Spectral Procession, obviously this has a very, Asian theme to it with the Night of 1,000 Demons. There's 100 demons, 1,000 demons. I can't remember. And this is a illusionist card that came out in Dynasty. Now, obviously, Dynasty having that same Volcor theme, Misteria and Volcor kind of share a little bit of the same Asian influences. But Spectral Procession using illusions, right? Spectral Rider also doing the same thing, just being another one of these demons in this parade. You have Spectral Rider, which is a card nobody's playing because it needs something like Spectral Shields. You have Spectral Prowler, which does cool things based on Spectral Shields. And so a lot of this stuff is kind of based solely on that. You also have cards like Phantasmal Symbiosis, which is a card that came out in Dynasty. Just more crazy illusionist stuff. And I think overall the set is going to, it's not just going to be obviously for her, right? Because Prism's doing a thing. Dromai's doing a thing. I think this is going to probably be a little bit more. I'm expecting the ninja stuff to be pretty cool, but I'm very curious on what that new talent is going to be. But more importantly, I wanted to look at what the calling is actually going to be like. So with the calling in Tokyo, obviously 17th to 19th, I wanted to go over some of the stuff. Not all of the side events and stuff have been updated as far as we know here. But apparently, pretty much what it's going to be is you have day one, which is going to be the world premiere event. So it's just going to be sealed of Part the Mistveil, a super armory, and then a full schedule of public events. So other things you can do. Saturday is going to be calling day one with a sealed deck open entry. And then Sunday is calling day two, top 8 Part the Mistveil booster draft, which is going to be very interesting. Because as I scroll down here, show off all this stuff, you get a bunch of tickets and stuff for doing the Part the Mistveil world premiere event. And then participation, you get a world premiere playmat and a promo card, which, they don't know. They haven't decided what the promo card is yet, obviously, because it's probably going to be a card from the set. So they're not going to tell you anything about that yet. The calling, of course, is sealed and then booster draft. So it is not constructed. It's going to be much like the heavy hitters celebrational stuff. The interesting thing here, though, is that when you look at decks, day 2, all booster drafts will be conducted with Japanese language product. So anybody who makes it to day 2, which is, day 2 is going to be the booster draft stuff. That is all going to be done with Japanese only product. Now, I'm assuming that there's going to be able to be translators on site to help any other players who speak other languages to help translate these cards, but I'm not entirely sure. Luckily, I know a lot of people who can make it to a top 8 at least know what cards do, and they study cards a lot. Doesn't seem like it's going to be too big of a deal for them, but it is very interesting to see that. I'm curious what is going to be changing through that. And then, of course, 1st through 8th place gets a gold foil legendary. 1st through 8th gets a gold foil legendary, and the first place gets a gold foil. The first place just gets the extended art balance justice. So pretty cool stuff, I gotta say. And then, of course, the battle hardened also happens. Same thing, rounds of Swiss. People get exclusive promos. People get playmats and a gold foil legendary for winning that there. This, I believe, is constructed. No, it's sealed. This is also sealed. So a lot of sealed and booster draft stuff. I know a lot of people really like constructed, so it's probably going to be very difficult for people to commit to going all the way out to Japan for non-constructed events, but I do think it all is all pretty cool. And that's all we know so far. So to have a new set released is super cool. Obviously, I'm very excited about something like this. I love the theme of Misteria. I love everything about a possible blue illusionist. I love when they add new things into the game, like new talents. I know talents have been kind of a rough spot for LSS for a little while, especially with people talking about the elemental stuff and light and shadow being very weird for some people. So I'm very excited to see new talents reach the people, and hopefully with due time, we will see that new talent rise up and be, a part of the greats, as we like to see all talents tend to be. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate your support. Please make sure to check out the link to this in the description down below if you have not already. Super awesome stuff. If you have not yet had a chance, or you have the ability to plan a trip to go to Tokyo, I highly suggest doing so. I wish I did, so you guys are going to have to go in my place. But I hope you guys have a fantastic time with this. If you're able to go, you should definitely check it out. This is going to be like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for how cool of a spot it is for a calling to happen, and the world premiere event of Part the Mistveil. A lot of great promos are going to be being given out. You have a lot of super cool people getting introduced into the game. It's like a brand new field and I know a lot of pro players are looking to get into it too, because Japan is just, I can't wait to go. If I ever go, right? If I'm able to go to the world premiere, I'd be happy, but obviously that's probably not happening. But I can't wait to eventually at some point go to Japan and still be able to play Flesh and Blood with all the fantastic people over in that region. So thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate your support. Make sure to like the video if you guys enjoyed this content. Subscribe if you want to see more Flesh and Blood goodness over here. We do also have a channel membership available if you did want to go ahead and click onto that. I do make some special videos for channel members, so things that other people will not see. So if that is something that interests you, we like to talk a little bit about market and so on and so forth, some things that are a little oversaturated here on the good old YouTubes. Let me know. You can go ahead and join as a channel member, and I would be eternally grateful. But thank you all so much for watching. I do really appreciate your support, and I will catch you all later. Nerd out.